This is the most realistic outdoor survival show on the internet. Season 7 of Alone in the Wild might just be the most exciting yet. Without even needing a survival knife, they've managed to butcher 800 pounds of muskox. Right after landing, this contestant helped out immediately by perfectly taking down a 20-pound porcupine. The fishing expert caught 4 large fish with a single net. Whether it's building shelters or setting traps, this season can truly be called the best so far. The production team selected the top 10 survival experts from around the world and brought them to the Arctic region of Canada. Whoever can survive 100 days will receive a prize of $1 million. Here, they not only have to deal with sneak attacks from black bears and wolves, but also endure the harsh winter cold. However, the temptation of that $1 million prize is enough motivation for them to push themselves to the limit. Once the helicopters leave, each contestant is dropped off at their designated location. The first contestant is named Sun. He gained 3 million followers online through survival videos. He's also a die-hard fan of the show. Over the past 2.5 years, he has rigorously trained every skill and is now able to build a shelter with ease, all in preparation for this challenge. Searching for the supply box the crew placed a day earlier, Sun noticed bear tracks on it. Knowing he couldn't afford a fight, he packed up his dozens of kilos of gear and moved away from the area. Upon settling down, he couldn't wait to assemble his bow and patrol his surroundings. Overwhelmed with excitement, his eyes suddenly lit up as if spotting prey. Holding his breath, he drew his bow and shot an arrow. In response, a shadow fell from the tree. Approaching cautiously, he realized it was a porcupine. Within just half an hour of landing, he had already secured a hefty source of protein. It seemed like a promising start for Sun. After gutting and cleaning the animal, he set about roasting the meat slowly over branches for several hours, saving it for breakfast. However, the slightly damp firewood in the Arctic took him a few minutes to get the fire going. He boiled 4 porcupine legs in a pot. The taste was surprisingly better than expected. He couldn't help but groan in satisfaction in front of the camera. The second contestant is Dao, a biologist working in national parks. He is not only familiar with flora and fauna, but also skilled in setting traps, foraging, and building fires. Like Sun, Dao also wandered the area upon landing. Before long, he was drawn by the sound of squirrels in the trees. As the only contestant this season without a bow, but with excellent baseball skills, Dao decided to throw a few rocks at the squirrel to see if he could take it down. Like everyone else, I doubted he'd actually catch it. But surprisingly, he managed to knock the squirrel out cold with a rock. These contestants are definitely not amateurs this season. That night, Sun heard something outside his camp messing with his iron pot. It must have been a bear or a wolf. Bravely, he approached with his bow ready. Though the animal fled, his iron pot had clearly been touched. After this experience, Sun didn't dare sleep again that night. On the second day of the challenge, the female contestant Curlin had just landed when she noticed nearby wildlife. For safety, she set up 7 snares immediately. On her way, she spotted some resin lumps. She mentioned that Native Americans used to chew these. Out of curiosity, she tried it too, but within 3 seconds she was vomiting uncontrollably. The taste wasn't actually terrible, which suggests this area is rich in resources. With just 2 hours until noon, all her traps were set. She soon caught a rabbit, who clearly forgot to check the schedule. Curlin held the dead rabbit and cried until it started raining. Back at camp, she stewed the rabbit with mushrooms. Her expression while eating said it all. The next contestant was Roland, a licensed hunting guide from Alaska. He leads a semi-modern, self-sufficient lifestyle. Tempted by the $1 million prize, he said he had to win, or else he'd have to retire. Early the next morning, he started a fire and hid some firewood inside. He accidentally burned a colony of black ants. No matter how small, meat is still meat. Roland picked them up one by one and ate them. After finishing his chores, he ventured out and stumbled across a large spool of fishing line. If he could craft some hooks for himself, wouldn't that make him even more well-equipped? As he spoke, he headed to the lake to find a fishing spot. Unexpectedly, a wolverine charged at him ahead. It startled him, but this man could easily take on something 5 times his size. Perhaps it was because Roland was 5 times bigger than the wolverine. The creature quickly retreated within 2 seconds. Roland smiled and pulled out his slingshot. Clearly, if that wolverine dared come closer, Roland wouldn't hesitate to give it a beating. The scene cuts back to Dao. Perhaps from eating squirrel, he started feeling dizzy. Thinking it harmless, he decided to take a dip in the 3°C water. Dao regretted it immediately upon entering. He quickly got out and changed clothes. Nearby, he gathered some red berries and thought of reheating some meat. Venturing into the bushes, he noticed numerous animal tracks. At this point, Dao still hadn't figured out how to set traps. But suddenly, he stumbled upon a black bear not far away. Right now, he had neither bow nor axe in hand. Anyone else would have run long ago. But this madman did the opposite. He boldly advanced and chased the bear out of camp with pure aggression.